Been a wide open layup or dunk.
Degenhart.
Shot clock going down. Got to get it up.
Cardenas doubles. No look pass to Stanley for the bucket. What? 5 to shoot. Degenhart will take the shot. Tip. Good. Stanley.
Tough shot. Strong take. How athletic. Off 1 foot. Evans so quick to the cup.
Stanley calling for it. From the top, he gets it from Degenhart. Senior to senior. Puts his back to the basket. I thought you were going to say you were shedding that bacon breakfast you had today in Boise. Both can be true. 2 boards for Degenhart. What else is new? Cardenas gets an extra possession. There's Stanley.
Somehow just keep winning. Stanley slimes his way in and gets the cock and roll.
On that defensive rebound.
So good defense by Omar Stanley that time. Very well could have picked up his 4th the way the referees have been officiating today.
He threw his arms back, virtually like half going straight up, bro.
Some aggressive Aggie defense on the perimeter. Disrupting Boise State's offense. Stanley banging his way in, bruising his way for 2. And so Gadarezzi, after going the whole game without committing a foul, now has 2. Devastating screen by Stanley. And he's going to get the lob.
Oh! Can step over the top and knock down shots, creating, facing up. I'm telling you, Derek, he has real NBA potential.
Yeah, Steve Alford, when he was informed that Trey Colden was going to be out for the season with the broken hand, he had to make a decision on who he wanted to put in that starting lineup next to Sam Rosales. Nice move.
Allows them to get out and go quickly.
Dense in traffic. Keene is a good rebounder. Cardenas. 5.7 turnovers for Cardenas at the pit.
They missed the switch. They're trying to get it to Degenhart now with the much smaller dent.
Stanley bangs home a 3.
Well, that figures. I was here at home in the loss against San Diego State.
Great play by Cardenas with the steal. Trailing is Stanley, going to the bucket. Left hand, got it!
What a finish. Joseph an angle.
Cardenas doubles. Stanley! A stat stuffer, and a lot of those stats are steals, blocks. Get it inside, Stanley scores. Shot clock at 5. Carmichael, no whistle. Carmichael, tipped by Stanley.
San Jose State adds is Pasha Gadarzi, redshirt freshman. Dylan Anderson in for Boise State. Good pass there for Stanley. Stanley, easy bucket inside. Great big tip.
We talked about the Tony Parker floater earlier from Bedford. That time, the Steve Nash runner from D. Don Thomas Jr. But yes, you go to Viejas and you come away with a road win, you are essentially picking up, it seems, or it would seem, a game and a half on the competition, because very rarely does that happen.
Omar Stanley in for Boise State. Takes the three. It goes. He's
just over 10 minutes left here in the first half. Broncos 3 for 11 from the field. 1 for 7 from 2. That's key because they're one of the best two-point shooting teams in the country. Omar Stanley, 10 to shoot. Trying to back down Himes. Stanley pounding the rock, going up with the left, and an excellent finish.
6, who has hops and has plenty of game. Now the question is, how does Boise State start generating offense? Stanley steps under.
Try to get Dagenhart a touch in the post, try and calm things down, play through him.
New Mexico did a really good job on Dagenhart last year, but Leon's son Max Rice went out for 35 in this building, and finally
Just right to the middle of the floor, on-time delivery. Those post-ups, timing is so crucial for your post player to score, and Dent was on time and on target.
here's Cardenas to Omar Stanley. Through traffic.
Not scored in the last 2 minutes after breaking the seal. Alvaro Cardenas, a transfer from San Jose State. Omar Stanley is subbed in off of Leon Rice's bench.
Yeah, go to work, Omar.
Oh, boy, that was easy. Omar Stanley said, you know, he doesn't want to be a pessimist when guys leave. He said he instead wants to focus on their time in brown and gold.
Well, Coach Wicks is, I mean, he's really connected. He's going to find players.
Defeated, and just one loss for Boise State. Bowie up the floor. Buchanan bumped, no whistle. And Stanley stuffs it right.
Cardenas, a 29% three-point shooter, but I just think that's a little bit deceptive. He's got a great shot. Here's Stanley off the bench and absolutely cooks his defender.
The body of Stanley to kind of balance himself before powering up for the layup. Stanley pulls the chair, as you mentioned, leading to the travel. Driver behind all the change.
Here is Lockett, the talented freshman scorer. Stanley's got a mid-range shot. That's
about Henley at shoot-around this morning.
the way Henley also played his first year at Minnesota before transferring over to DePaul. Here's Bowie. Good defense by Hill. Martinez. Nice pass. Oh, what a no-look pass.
Rim. See if Toko Tynamo can provide some offensive spark for the Cowboys. Awkward looking shot. Good D by Stanley.
Awkward looking shot because he just bumped into Stanley and Stanley knocked him back 2 feet.
Yeah, Stanley again, 6'8", 240 at that big block earlier.
Watch it when he's trying to get post position down there. As soon as he hits Dynamo, he jumps back about 2 feet.
Stanley for 3, got it.
Well, a knuckleball found the. So not a great scoring lineup for the Cowboys right here. This lineup need to have a few more threats out there from the perimeter, and you just got one right now with Agbem.
Degenhart going up against Agbem. Little mismatch. Cardenas over to Stanley. Stanley goes in, goes right around Magasa.
Little stutter step in the kick to Hall. Triple. Not there for Sadadrian Hall, who has been heating up as of late at a 17-point, 14-rebound performance against Kennesaw State. Here's Keene now. Stanley being fronted, and that's easy money for Omar Stanley. The pass, he was able to split the defense, just couldn't finish. Now back to Stanley, a little double clutch, tries to hammer that with the right, gets the second effort, just dances off the rim. Third time is the chunk. 5. Cardenas, the give to Degenhart with the left, just curls off the rim, but Stanley's so good at cleaning. See here if Degenhart adjusts a little bit. He was looking to work on Nganga down low. Viola has caused some challenges with his presence. Meanwhile, Stanley up and under. Patience from Omar.
Throughout the day, Wesley Silahusky 1 for 1 to start his afternoon.
Yeah, good power move by Silahusky. A little soft court, half court pressure by the Falcons.
They draw first blood. We'll talk more about this throughout the afternoon, but this series has been dominated by Boise State, especially under Leon Rice. Or Stanley picks up his dribble. What a great...
Comes out full court pressure. Let's see if Boise State fixes this at halftime. Yep, that's the right pass.
That's the 10th Air Force giveaway on the other end. They've led to 10 Bronco points today. Omar Stanley finds position. Give and go. Omar, oh my, right to the 10 plus. Kyle Marshall with another finish. He's got 10.
Well, Marshall's had a heck of a game.
Really taking on a much bigger role in this Air Force offense. He went 10 for 14 from the field last time out. You have 10 freshmen for Joe Scott Company. One of them's bound to hit. Stanley. Tyson Degenhart. Alvaro Cardenas. Offensive board for Andrew Menem. Boise State has pulled down 10 on the offensive glass today. The pocket pass and one. Nice backdoor find. Caleb Walker on the way in. Point lead for the Bronx. The lob and the jam. Game has been Ethan Taylor, who was scoreless prior to that last three-point make.
Boy, and he had to earn that. I mean, he worked hard to get open for that shot.
84 threes last year was the second most in a single season in Air Force in program history. And a triple-double a couple years ago. Oh my. Morauskas so good from the mid-range, like many European players are. Got to keep an eye on that if you're Boise State tonight. Morauskas has 4. That's his first field goal. Under 9 minutes left to play in this first half. Omar Stanley on the drive. Oh, the pretty finish. 12 points and 11 rebounds in a big double-double overtime victory against UTSA a couple weeks ago. Looking for another big night tonight. How did Cardenas? Back leading 33-26. St. Mary's finished the first half on a 6-0 run. Cardenas into R.J. Key. Great vision. Great finish. Big bucket and a stop for Boise State. Alvaro Cardenas. Cardenas in the paint. Out to Stanley. Omar rips through. Omar Stanley working on a 13.7 rebound game. He just won't be denied.
Yeah, he also said that he's allowing them to read things a little bit more as the years gone on. Bowie's 3 no good. Stanley with the cleanup.
St. John's out to Boise, Idaho, and he seems to really like it here. Why would you give up when you had it on a roll? I don't know.
Here we go.
I thought we covered that at dinner last night.
Andrew Meadow checks in for the first time for Boise State. He had been starting for the Broncos.
And he's trusted as the best shooter on the team. They believe Andrew Meadow is truly their best shooter.
Stanley powers his way to the rim.
On the post, they're going to look it over and he can score in there.
And Price up top for 3. That one's in and out.
Nice check out by Cardenas.
Good call, Rap. That was physical checkout.
5 rebounds for Degenhardt. He's had a much better second half after having foul trouble in the first half. They go inside for Stanley. Stanley trying to find some daylight off the glass. It's good.
One of the best names in college basketball, Garrett. Tennessee Rainwater.
You said it, Brian. There have been lists on social media with, All-American name teams. Tennessee Rainwater is a guy who's in there every single time.
Oh, it has to be. That's fantastic.
So if you hear us saying that tonight, we're not just making up an inside joke or anything like that. That is his legal name. And the posts with Omar Stanley. Boy, they like what he's improved over the offseason. He starts. It's Mountain West opponent, or what you dream of when you're playing small-level high school basketball.
Yeah, and Utah Tech has played a good schedule. Oregon State, Wyoming, Nevada. See Omar Stanley.
7 from outside tonight. Beaker off the mark. The lob. Stanley settles it down.
Christian Reeves, speaking of movement, a couple of years at Duke, now here at Clemson. Stanley, fake dribble, handoff, gets it to fall. A runner with 1. Perfect for Chase Hunter, who has a quick 7.
He's a guy that's got to step up. He's their guy. 6th-year player. He's redshirt as a freshman, COVID year, so it's his 6th year. He's their guy. Second team preseason, all ACC, as we mentioned. These guys be the glue for their team.
Julian Bowie dumps it off, and Stanley hammers it through. Clemson's press gets the steal. Freshman Dell Jones, fadeaway J, no, and you can see Hunter on the near side of the screen. He was disappointed. He wanted the ball off the steal, and it cost the Tigers.
Point game last season, so he's someone that's already scored the bucket in college basketball and trying to translate here to Corbin.
Around the horn, Tyson Degenhart gives it up. Broncos struggling to get out of the gate after ripping through Oakland on opening night. They got out to a 10-0 run. Wiley going to work. He's over 13 points per game coming in. To the post, RJ with a beautiful free. RJ believes. That's Devin Hinton off the mark. Cardenas. What a fine Omar Stanley drips in. Corbin's campus about 7 hours away from here in Salem. Omar Stanley sticks, making Dad proud with the triple.
Right on cue, third three of the night.
And Larry, of course, played all over the NBA, had some memorable years with the Milwaukee Bucks. Before coaching a Pac-12 squad. Omar Stanley really.
2 a year ago. Here's Buchanan all the way, and that ball gets tipped in. I think he rave about his basketball IQ for passes like that. Great ball movement. Degenhart in the corner, no good. Stanley, second chance. Stanley battling against Lingard.
But he had that same look, just there, switched out, but then he gave him a pass fake, and he went for it, took 2 steps back, and Williams is going to drain that. Too easy.
Anderson gets it to Stanley. Spacing not great in this possession right here. Here's Cardenas, needs to make something happen late in shot clock. Calls for a screen. Gets it inside. What a pass to Stanley.
Well, you said make.
Well, the freshman as well, but see him being the leader out there and obviously got a lot of experience and something you can definitely see.
Other off-season losses for Boise State. Chibuzo Agbo went to USC. Oh my! The Andrew Meadow. Great job by Tyson Degenhart to keep that play alive. Broncos put up 25.5 rebounds a contest. Great backdoor feed from King, and Stanley does.
Brewer coming off a game with 7 offensive rebounds, coming out with 2 already in the first 2 minutes of second half.
Drew Meadow around the horn. Omar Stanley with the pretty stroke.
Really seen him develop here and has a great opportunity to produce on the offensive end for the Broncos.
Yeah, Tim Duryea said he just is a basketball robot. It's all he thinks about. Imagine an entire offseason worth of thoughts, preparation. Stanley with another jam.